what's going on? It's your friendly neighborhood Rasati out here in Singapore, and I am really in a great mood. But I really do want to get back on here and talk to you guys about a couple of things that I've been pondering over the last couple of days. So as you all know, I've been working on Mass and Kip's Claim Your Power 40-day journal. Oh my God, this journey has gotten me in my feelings and trying to avoid everybody for completely different reasons than the coronavirus. But honestly speaking, it's been a couple of days. I have effectively sheltered myself from anything and everybody where I would have to actually like interact with people because I don't think I have the capacity at the moment to really talk the way I want to because I have been really digging deep and thinking about some of the things that upset me. So today I want to talk to you about blanket statements because I seem to see it a lot. And the more I dig, the more I recognize myself saying some of these things. And I definitely catch it when baby girl does the same thing. So what I mean by a blanket statement is when somebody starts speaking to you and they say things like always or never when they're describing something. So a lot of times when I'm talking to baby girl and I'm using her as an example because it's a little bit easier to pick up examples to relate to you guys. When she speaks to me, a lot of times it's always or never, which means maybe a couple times something happens, but she's making it a blanket statement that covers all examples, all similar situations, so that she can feel like she's justified in believing this to be the truth. So, for example, when she gets upset with me, possibly because I'm on my phone, because all of my business is on my phone, talking to people, clients abroad and in Singapore, connecting with other social media influencers, promoting the nautigams that I happen to be acting in, checking in with new people, creating content, everything is, my entire office is on my phone, y'all, okay? So when she asks me for something and I say no, she gets upset because usually I have my phone in my hand. I can't help it. I have my phone in my hand. And what she attributes to the no is, oh, well, you're always on your phone, so of course you're going to say no to me. But that is not the case. Sometimes she will ask me, hey, can I go downstairs and play in the playground? And if I say no, immediately she thinks it's because she's done something wrong. It's not the case. It's not always because she's done something wrong. Sometimes it's because it's raining. Sometimes it's because we have homework to do and I really need her to focus at home. And I know if she goes downstairs, it's going to be a couple of hours before she comes back to the house. So she is used to making these blanket statements. But so are we as adults. When I talk to clients, when they're married couples that are coming to me, and I usually get one side of it, right? I usually have one person that's in therapy with me. The other person has not agreed to come into, a situation where all three of us are sitting down together. It's usually one person that's relaying all of the ideas. And they will say things like, oh, they always do this, or they never pay attention to me, or they don't understand who I am. No matter what I say, they don't listen. So it's a blanket statement that covers every possible episode. I don't know what the word is. Every time that they interact in this specific manner, that this is always the reaction that they get from the other partner. For example, how is it possible for someone to never listen to the spouse? It's not actually physically possible. Obviously, you have to have communication and you're going to have to answer some questions. But sometimes when it's an emotional situation where you're talking about the feelings between the relationship itself, maybe you tune yourself out because you know it's going to lead to a fight. So you kind of like zone out. But usually when you're talking about, okay, I need to go pick this up. Can you help me with this? Usually when you're coordinating schedules, the other person will listen. I mean, it's a given, right? So when you make a blanket statement and say they never listen, that's actually not true. It's actually not true. But for me to get my clients to actually listen and understand, hey, you're making a generalization that isn't accurate, they get offended. Now, I have the difficult task of getting them to pinpoint incidences of when they actually did not listen. And a lot of times it is emotionally charged events when they can finally give me a specific instance, like within the last 3 days that they can really understand or remember. When they give me instances of that, then I can actually pick it apart. I can actually tell them, okay, well, what was happening? Is this a fight that you have over and over again? Is this one of those, trigger conversations where someone tunes you out because they know the fight's coming right after it? They know when you say this when you bring up a specific incident that it's going to end up in a fight at some point. So in that regard, that means this person does not want to fight. They're avoiding the fight, but by ignoring you or tuning you out, they're triggering you even more, which means the communication isn't enough between the two of you. Case in point, if I go back to talking to you about baby girl and how she feels like I trigger her sometimes, and she makes generalizations about my behavior and how I trigger her, I need her to tell me a specific incident where it happened. And when she finally does that, I will have to backtrack her into remembering every step of that relationship, every step of that incident, which means she remembers how she felt about it, and she remembers one aspect of what I was doing at the time. She doesn't realize that there were other things that were going on in my mind. And I realize when she recounts the experience itself that I haven't told her enough. Now, if I tell her, hey, when we get back home from school or whatever, usually I walk her home from school. So on our way back, what I usually ask her is, hey, do you have any homework? And I decide on the way whether I'm going to the NTUC to pick up groceries or not. Usually, I don't ask her what it is that she feels about these things. I feel like if I would ask her those things, she would say no. So I just go about my business. I don't give her as many details. I hope that she just goes along with my plan, which I have found sometimes she has other ideas as well. So the less that I tell her, the more space there is for her to fill in the gaps on her own accord with whatever story she feels like making up, and then there's room for misunderstanding. If I tell her right off the bat, hey, I have to cook dinner, I don't have anything in the fridge, I need to go by the store, can we do that first? Usually she's not going to fight me on it, but because in my infinite wisdom, sometimes as a mom, I don't tell her these things, it leaves room to the imagination. It leaves room for her to get upset with me. So I try really hard to improve my communication, and it's something that I'm trying to stress with my clients as well. The less you say, the more room there is for something to be taken out of context, to be misunderstood. So when you ghost people, or when you avoid giving details, or you're very vague about what's going on, chances are the other person's going to fill in the blanks for themselves because they need to understand why. People don't seem to realize how important this why is, but that's where these generalizations seem justified, because you don't have enough information in the first place to understand that this is different from the last time that this happened. So if you have any questions about better improving your communication within your relationship, whether it's partners, friends, best friends, husband and wife, parent and child, siblings, whatever, co-workers, if you have any questions about how to improve your communications, please hit me up. You got questions, concerns, comments, whatever, drop them in the comments below, because this is what I'm here to do. I am here to help you the best way that I know how. And if you don't let me know what you need help on, I don't know where to start with you guys. So please let me know, because understanding each other, giving each other the simple why behind what you're doing and what you have planned can save a lot of misunderstandings and unnecessary fighting. So again, you guys, I'm hoping this helps, especially during this quarantine period where you're in the house with your family members more than you usually are because you're being told not to go out if you can help it. Please hit me up if you want to improve some of these relationships while you have the chance, because you have them available to you, and I will do my best to schedule an appointment and get to work with whatever it is that you need help with. And in the meantime, y'all stay safe. I'll catch you again soon. Bye.